Hi, Scott Orlam of CINEMA-Magazin. A piano, and you can't do a musical without a good piano. The movie Mamma Mia 2, and we're here at the home of ABBA, Stockholm, and with the director, Ol Parker. Congratulations on the movie. Obviously, it's been a decade since the last movie. How did you decide what the approach was going to be? Because you can't just repeat the same thing that you had before.
You can't, and I was aware of that. It wasn't really a decision, it was just an instinct. I just thought the way to try and do it, this last time was so brilliant, they just went for it. There's no irony, they just go all in and they get the spandex and they sing badly and they dance badly and they're just fully committed. And that was brilliant and it worked triumphantly well. I thought this time the way to have no irony was actually to take it a little more seriously and to commit and try and move you and try and make it slightly more intense. And so that's what we did. We tried to make the songs fit maybe slightly more into the structure of the story and try and make them mean a little more. And so not that they didn't mean much before because it was glorious, but just to make you, we tried to make you cry. That's the difference.
But you also make us swoon because there are locations you're going to see in this movie that are make you want to go travel. But it's fascinating because the first one really focused on Donna, Meryl Streep.
Yeah.
And now we kind of go back in time and we see the young Donna and how she met these three guys and how her situation happened. How interesting was that for you to get an actress to not imitate another actress, but to embody the spirit of that actress?
Sure, I mean that was true of all of them. All six of the younger cast, all playing their younger counterparts, all playing their older counterparts. Sorry, that was absolutely the key. And so they watched very carefully, they all did their research, and then it was about doing the research and chucking it away. I was very clear I didn't want them to do an impersonation, but just any time they could find something. There's a moment where Lily tries on the dungarees for the first time, and she walks out of the changing room and stands there, and she was like, what do I do now? And I was like, I don't know. And she went, oh, I know what to do. And she does the dance, the dungarees, which is what Meryl does in the first movie. And as soon as she did it, I was like, right, brilliant, that's what you do, of course. And so that was, I was heavily reliant on their knowledge of the first movie and of what the actors did and their respect for them.
Obviously, in the first movie, you mined the catalog for ABBA. How did you decide what songs you would repeat and what were the new songs that you would want to incorporate?
Well, you can't do Mamma Mia without Mamma Mia, I would suggest, and so that was a given, and it's a crime not to play Dancing Queen whenever you possibly can, so those two were kind of a given. And short of that, it was the ones that suited the story. They were incredibly generous about giving me free rein. When I went to meet them in Stockholm the first time, I thought they would say, here's 12 songs, find a story that fits them, and it was the complete opposite. They were like, whatever you want, whatever suits you, so I got to go through the back catalogue and pick what I wanted, and then they were incredibly generous. Bjorn rewrote the lyrics for me on request. I think I'm going to make this song about something else, about a child, about a mother and a child rather than a man and a woman, and he was like, great, and rewrote I've Been Waiting For You. It's a stunning effect, I think. So,
And obviously, you have such an impressive cast there, but then you bring in a Cher.
I did.
What does that lend to the whole essence of a movie?
Well, you can't come back. I mean, you're not trying to, it's not about being better than the first movie. It's just, but you can't come back level. You've got to come back on the attack. Do you know what I mean? You've got to try and come back stronger. So you've got to bring something else to it. And I'd written this part, and I'd written it only for her. And you always have a plan B when you're casting in case plan A turns you down, because they probably will. And I just refused to find a plan B. We just kept trying. And it was hard to get to her and her people and whatever, and I was like, no, it's just her. And they kept going, to anyone else? Who's somebody else? I was, no, it's Cher. We'll be Cher. She's going to say yes, because she has to. And then gloriously she did, and it was next level. I mean, on the day that she sang Fernando, they all came in on their day off with their families, and it was like a concert for the crew, the cast and the crew. People that weren't working all came in, and we all watched her walk down the staircase singing the first take, and a storm of applause like you've never heard, and it was amazing, sensation.
And last question for you, and I asked this of a lot of directors, what was the one moment in the movie that you're like, oh my God, I have to do this? I mean, that either artistically or logistically was just a challenge.
The opposite, none of them. I mean, I wrote it thinking that I just wrote it, and thinking it was going to be someone else's problem. I would never have written a dance sequence on 14 boats. If I thought that I was going to be directing it, I just thought I'd hand that over. It's a great idea and someone else can make it work. And so when they asked me to direct it was terrifying. And so it was a series of looking at these things that I'd created, thinking, how am I going to do the thing that I said would look really good? And so, but probably the most satisfying was that day with helicopters and boats and dancers going down the hill and matching when the boats come in, chaos. And to make that payoff, and to be playing Dancing Queen all the way through, that was an extraordinary time.
Well, if I can borrow a lyric, thank you for the movie instead of the
so
music.
much. Thank you very much.
Really appreciate it.
Lovely
Congratulations.
talking
This
to you.
is Scott Orr. Until next
Thanks.
time.